Okay, let's look at a report, another type of writing you may get. The objective of a report is to inform the reader and to make a recommendation based on objective data. Okay, the data you will get, you will have got it objectively. The idea is by speaking to other people, and you will have to inform the reader, the recipient of the report, and at the end make a recommendation, but objectively. Okay. An example here, imagine you've just come back from an end-of-year school trip, and the school principal has asked you to write a report on the experience. He has asked you to do three things: explain what the group saw and did, make suggestions how it could be improved, and decide whether to recommend to other students. The style should be appropriate. Okay, so you have to do these things. You have to explain, suggest, and recommend, or not, to other students. So you have to do those three things. Let's have a look at the important thing. A report has a specific structure. It should have a title. Okay, you should give it a title, a factual title. A factual title. So if this is about an end-of-year school trip, the title should be End-of-Year School Trip to wherever. Factual title. Okay, a report needs headings. So, for example, when you write the introduction, the heading should be Introduction, simply. Okay, you don't need much of imagination for this. So the heading should simply be Introduction. Then you write the introduction, where it says here, why are you writing the report? Where did you get the information from? Okay, so this report in this question, it's for the purpose of informing the principal. Where did you get the information from? Where you would say, for example, you spoke to the group who went on the end-of-year school trip, and this is the information they gave you. This is where you obtain the information. You state this in the introduction. Section 1, Section 2 is according to the task. It depends on the question, but again, a heading is needed. Okay, a heading is needed. So each time you write a paragraph on a different topic, you write the heading, factual heading, so you know exactly what you're going to read in this paragraph. Finally, you have a summary and recommendations. And again, the final paragraph would have the heading of recommendations. In this case, would you recommend 100% at the end of your school trip? Are there any adjustments or changes you would make to the trip? This is what you have to write, okay, in your recommendation. All right. I repeat, all this is objective. So, and so far as it's objective, there are a few bits of useful language I've put here. Okay, there are many more that you can find, other phrases you can use, but you can see in the introduction, for example, you'd say the main aim or objective or purpose of this report is to, and in this case would be, is to discuss the end of year school trip that we took to. All right. For example, another one, to prepare for this report, I discussed the trip with my classmates or with the people I traveled with. And then you have some reporting results. You can see it's the passive. We use the passive because a report is formal and it's impersonal, it's objective. So it is thought, it was commented, those who were interviewed. The passive is something which is good to use in a report because it does all of these things. Or according to, all right, so these are some useful phrases, but I repeat, you could find many more useful phrases. Finally, the style, as I said, formal or impersonal. Okay, no contractions. As we're writing formally, as in a formal letter, don't use contractions. Okay, write the words out fully. Don't use phrasal verbs. If you can avoid them, use a more formal equivalent. So avoid phrasal verbs. And then remember constructions for recommending. Okay, would, should, ought to, and conditionals. Modal verbs have to be used in all types of writing. Here, it's a very important thing to use. You're giving advice, you're recommending something, so these three modal verbs and the use of conditionals are a perfect method with which to do this. Okay? Thank you very much.